Is the Fetch Mighty model M616T actually worth buying now, or is it one of those tech products that sounds good on paper, but disappoints in real life? Because right now, most people already have smart TVs, streaming apps, and even cheaper streaming sticks, so why would anyone still buy this? In this video, I'm going to unbox it, set it up, test it, and show you exactly who this is for, and more importantly, who should avoid it. What is Fetch Mighty? If you've never heard of Fetch TV, this might look like just another streaming box, but it's actually very different. The Fetch Mighty M616T combines streaming apps like Netflix and YouTube with something most modern devices don't have anymore, a full 1TB PVR recorder for live TV. So instead of choosing between streaming and traditional TV, this tries to combine both into one system. Why people still buy this in 2026? So why hasn't this thing disappeared yet? There's actually a big group of users, especially in Australia, who still rely on free-to-air TV and want to record shows easily. And that's exactly where the Fetch Mighty stands out, because most streaming devices completely ignore this use case. Unboxing experience. This Fetch Mighty for Fetch TV services is from Optus. You can get it from other service providers or retail shops too. On one side of the box, there's information on what's inside and what you need. Alright, let's open this up and see what you actually get. From the box, you've got the Fetch Mighty unit, Ethernet network cable, HDMI cable, power adapter, remote control, AAA batteries, and a quick start guide. It's a pretty straightforward package, nothing flashy, but everything you need to get started immediately. Design and build quality. This design is interesting. It is not compact but looks minimal, but it definitely feels more functional than premium, like something built for reliability rather than aesthetics. And honestly, for a device that's meant to sit under your TV and just work, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Ports and hardware. This is where things start to get very different from typical streaming devices. You've got 12-volt DC power, Ethernet, USB, HDMI, optical, and most importantly, antenna input for live TV. That antenna connection is what unlocks recording, pausing, and rewinding live television. Something you simply don't get on devices like Chromecast or Fire TV. On the side, you get another USB port. On the front, there's indicator lights for power, internet, and recording. Remote control breakdown. This remote might look basic, but it's actually designed very differently from modern remotes. You've got dedicated buttons for recording, channel navigation, TV guide, and quick access to streaming apps. It's clearly built for users who still want that traditional TV control experience, while slowly transitioning into streaming. Setup process. Now let's talk about setup, because this is where some people get frustrated. Connect the provided power adapter cable, but don't turn on the power yet. Connect an Ethernet network cable from your internet modem or router. Connect HDMI cable to your television. Connect antenna cable to get free-to-air TV. Now turn on the TV, select the correct HDMI input, and turn on power for the Fetch TV box. Initially, the Fetch TV STB upgrade and firmware download starts automatically. The process can take a while, and there can be multiple device restarts. Allocate around 30 minutes to 45 minutes for the STB and firmware update process. I've actually cut short and sped up the process shown in this video. Update has been completed and Fetch loads. The next step is to enter the activation code. This STB box is from Optus, which provided the Fetch ID code. Once activated, you get the option to name the Fetch TV box. I'll let it have the default name. Next, you can select between the two audio modes. Here, enter the existing PIN. The default PIN is 0000, and you can change it later in settings. Next is the option to scan free-to-air TV channels. You can skip this step or start a channel scan. While the channel scan is running, you get to watch the Fetch TV introduction video, which is useful if you're using it for the first time. Scan has found 27 free-to-air TV channels. In the final setup, a series of diagnostic tests are run to make sure the Fetch Mighty box is connected and working. The Fetch Mighty is now activated with the Fetch TV software ready to use. The whole step is not difficult, but it's definitely slower and more involved than plug-and-play streaming sticks. User interface and navigation. This is where you'll immediately notice the difference. The interface is functional, but it doesn't feel as smooth or modern as newer streaming platforms. It gets the job done, but if you're used to fast, fluid interfaces, this might feel a bit dated. Performance first impressions. So how does it actually perform? Apps load reasonably well, but navigation isn't the fastest, especially compared to premium streaming devices. It's perfectly usable, but performance is not its strongest selling point. Sometimes, starting an app can take a while. Key feature: 1 TB recording power. This is the feature that makes or breaks the Fetch Mighty. You can record multiple shows at once, pause live TV, and store hours of content on the 1 TB hard drive. If you actually use these features, this device suddenly becomes incredibly valuable. Fetch Mighty versus smart TV apps. So here's the big question: do you even need this? Most smart TVs already have Netflix, YouTube, and other apps built in. But they don't offer proper recording, channel integration, or that full TV experience like the Fetch Mighty box, so it depends on how you watch content. Who should buy this? This is not for everyone. If you only stream content, this probably isn't worth it. But if you watch live TV, record shows, or want everything in one place, this could be exactly what you need. Who should avoid it? And here's who should probably skip this. If you want speed, modern UI, and pure streaming performance, there are better options. This device is more about functionality than cutting-edge experience. Final verdict. So, is the Fetch Mighty M616T worth buying in 2026? It's not the fastest, not the most modern, but it offers something most devices don't. If you need live TV recording and streaming in one box, it still makes sense. Otherwise, you might want to look elsewhere. If you're thinking about picking one up, I've left links in the description and pinned comment where you can check the latest prices and deals. And if this video helped you make a decision, consider subscribing for more honest, no-fluff tech reviews.